Hey, Patreon fans, welcome to another little extra overtime stuff with our guests from this week, the great Michael Kosta, and we're new big fans of Lily Herman, who knows her shit about F1, Formula One, which is just, in my opinion, it's such an emerging sport in the United States. It's already big in Europe, but it's huge here, and I'm sure we have lots of fans who are like, I'll check that out. I know what it is.
Yes.
You got to check out their podcast, Choosing Sides. But let's get into a story just for you guys. This is just for you guys for supporting us the ways that you do. We give you an extra story. Starts out as a great story, and then it becomes just a story about sports fans making stupid decisions, okay?
Which we always love.
Palestinian football fans showed pride. I hate who wrote this, okay, in their team by taking a lion cub to watch the game in a crowded stadium. Always good to put a lion cub in a crowded stadium where firecrackers are probably going off, right?
God,
just like they do in the Serengeti. You know what I mean? When there's just smoke everywhere and people are fighting.
And a lion cub, doesn't that feel like unpredictable? Like all lions are unpredictable.
So Alex was seen in the stands for a crunch match between, and I'm going to get this wrong, Shabab Rafah and rivals El Sadaka in the Palestinian League, clad in his team's jersey. Yeah, I'm sure the lion cub liked that you put a shirt over its head and put its paws in the shirt. Like, this is I understand. Here's more of it, okay? Fans, far from being scared, were reportedly delighted. Yeah, they wanted to pass the cub around like he was a freaking beach ball at a game, right? Throw it over the side.
This is trauma.
What's the security situation at this joint?
I don't know.
I mean, I can't bring a half bottle of water into a Mets game. This guy's bringing in a freaking lion cub.
The lion was born in a zoo in Rafah, but the owner was forced to sell the cubs in order to keep feeding other animals. Oh, so they took it from that situation into this terrible situation. It would be like, hey, I'm going to take you, you used to work for Doc Antle, as you were like a sex slave for Doc Antle. We're just going to take you over here and drop you off at Jeffrey Epstein's party. Is that cool?
We'll drop you off at his island and see how that goes.
Is that cool? Two other adorable 2-month-old lion cubs from the zoo, Mona and Alex, have been living with refugee Saad, I don't know, can't even pronounce his name, Al-Jamal, and his 6 children in their home in Rafah in southern Gaza. Okay.
I haven't seen cubs mishandled this much since 2018 till the present in Chicago.
Right. Okay, so maybe don't have 2 lion cubs when you have 6 kids, right? Because lion cubs are great when they're little, but then they're really big.
And they grow up.
Yeah, then you might, unless you want to start feeding some of your kids to the lion. I mean, unless you're going to start to do that.
We made a mistake. We really should have stopped at 4 kids. Let's get 2 lion cubs, and we'll handle the whole.
I got this guy,
and he that guy.
Brutal.
And he attacks my daughter. And they got lion cubs. Say hi, Walter.
This dog. I mean, that's
it.
Dog.
I'll go back to sleep.
I mean, so we talked about the Formula One audiences. Lily, you can speak to this and the crowds and stuff. Do they ever get, I mean, describe it, because I was like, it's a little bit of like a Kentucky Derby dressed up a little bit, but like, there are rabid fans too.
It's a party and it's fun too, right?
Yeah, they've had some issues recently with fan harassment and all of that joyous stuff, but definitely, I think it depends on where you are at any Grand Prix, and also, like, I went to the Canadian Grand Prix in June. Very nice people up there. And I was in, speaking of, we were talking about Daddy Stroll, the billionaire. I was in the Lance Stroll grandstand.
Ooh. He paid for that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I got a free hat. By that, I mean, we prepaid for it, obviously.
Thank you. Of course. Free is a relative term.
But truly, a crowd where people were on their feet the whole time and were, like any good sports fan, yelling calls that obviously the pit wall cannot hear from the other side of the track.
I told him to slow down.
Why is he not listening to me?
Punch it.
Downshift. That's the 11th turn.
That's right. Pit him. And it's like, yes, Mattia from Ferrari can hear me yelling "Pit Carlos" over and over again from half a mile down.
I have one more question for you, because is the makeup of the fans, is it predominantly male?
Careful.
Is it predominantly male? Is it predominantly trans people? No. Is it predominantly male?
It is. What's been interesting, especially with the sudden surge of new fans, particularly North American fans, is some people are not happy that it's a lot more women and people of color and whatnot. But yeah, I think also certain tracks tend to seem a little more male dominated. Canada, I don't know. It didn't really feel that way, even though I'm sure there were more men there. But yeah, you're definitely seeing. I mean, you see a lot of the same stuff in other sports if people who aren't dudes get into them. Of like,
so my question is, like, you have a ridiculous amount of knowledge. You obviously know this sport really well. Do you run up against people who are like, what does she know? I mean, is there a little bit of that in the sort of? I know Michael doesn't because he clearly.
Well, look, and I regret tweeting that.
I don't know why you would say that about your co-host.
You didn't need to be so public about your co-host that way, Michael. No, but I mean, do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you run into that a little bit of that of sort of like, what does she know? Meanwhile, you know everything.
All the time. Yeah, no, I mean, it's the kind of thing too where I just kind of find it funny. I was a political opinion writer for about 5 or 6 years before this, so I am used to being asked, or kind of condescendingly, rhetorically asked, what does she know? So, I mean, it happens. There's a lot of other people who deal with it too. So we all just kind of chuckle at it.
Yeah.
But
it's good.
It comes with the territory.
Well, you are very good at what you do. Your podcast is amazing. I want people to check it out. Choosing Sides F1 with the great Michael Kosta and our friend Lily Herman now, who's amazing, knows her stuff. It's a wonderful dynamic that you guys have, and I'm so happy you brought it on our show.
Thank you.
Patreon fans, thank you for supporting us the ways that you do, and we'll see you next time.